4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
Heavily concocted and stretched beyond acceptances comes this seniors' road trip, which, if you can believe this, is a light-hearted take on dementia. John and Ella Spencer, Donald Sutherland and Helen Mirren have almost reached the end of the road. Ella is frail. John's memory is failing. Instead of going quietly into that good night, however, the Boston 70-somethings flee the suffocating care of their doctors and their children, Will, Christian McKay, and Jane, Janelle Maloney. They hop aboard their vintage camper van nicknamed the Leisure Seeker. They plan to visit the Florida Keys house of John's hero, Ernest Hemingway. The Leisure Seeker is co-written and directed by Italian Paolo Virzì, who makes his first film in the United States of America. It's based upon a novella by Michael Zadoorian, the story of an elderly couple who escape the Detroit suburbs in their old camper and drive to California along legendary Route 66. Virzì used the book as a cue, but changed the trip's itinerary in making this movie. I wasn't totally sold. Notwithstanding the noble efforts of Mirren and Sutherland to channel their respective sickly characters, the constant back and forth between being compos mentis and not, between being jealous and in love, between being frustrated and understanding, quickly wore thin. More often than not, the change and then reversion, another change and another reversion happened inside a few minutes. Mind you, I have to admit that the film and the relationship between the pair grew on me ever so gradually, after frustrating the bejesus out of me at first.
You're listening to Movies First. For more, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I was never comfortable with the portrayal of the couple's son. Hysterical and over the top is how I'd describe it, and boy did that great. I did like some of the situations the elderly couple found themselves in, at eateries, in nursing homes, with a cop and with opportunistic thieves, to name but a few. It was like piecing together a series of skits involving the same people, although there were too many of them. The Leisure Seeker should not have troubled the scorers beyond 90 minutes, and yet the director managed to drag it out to nearly 2 hours. Why? Unnecessary and indulgent. Moments of poignancy and humour are certainly present throughout. So too, impressive cinematography and diversity of vistas. The soundtrack is a beauty, including Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin. For all of that, The Leisure Seeker is noticeably manipulated throughout, and suffers as a result. It scores a 5.5 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First. Subscribe to the full podcast at Audioboom, Stitcher and iTunes, or your favourite podcast distributor. This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.